Hey guys, welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I want to share with you a great little flashlight. Now this is an LED flashlight called the Fenix LD20. Now the reason why I like it is just because of the compactness of it all. I mean it's only 15 centimeters in length. It's very thin because it only requires two AA batteries. Now as we both know, AA batteries are widely available, which is just a great plus to this little flashlight. At the end you've just got your button press to activate the flashlight. That's pretty standard across a lot of flashlights nowadays. You've got a little belt clip on the side here, so you can hook that onto your belt, or perhaps on the inside of a pocket in your jeans or a jacket. Now the bulb, this is the key part of it. It's actually a Cree XPG LED bulb. Now this is reported to have 50,000 hours of lifespan. So I mean you've got more than enough hours of operation before you're reportedly going to see any problems with it. Now there's different settings or levels of brightness. There are four. It says here that there's 6 different levels according to the manual, but there's only 4 levels of brightness. Okay, so that's low, medium, high, and then what they call turbo mode, which is the highest mode available. Now the extra 2 modes that they talk about is an SOS mode, where you can activate the flashlight to send a normal SOS signal, and then also you can activate a strobe mode, so for like security purposes. I mean, or even if you are riding a bike, because supposedly with this you can actually get a bicycle adapter for the light. So there's quite a few features on it that just make it a really handy flashlight. So I'll just go through the modes of operation now so you can see that. Just depressing at the end on the button, you can hear it click in when you turn it on. Okay, so this mode here is just the low mode. Now to actually go through and cycle through the different modes, what you need to do is you need to just press on the button at the end, but obviously you don't want to press it too hard because it'll turn the light off. So if you just press down without clicking it, you'll see that it's gone up to another brightness here. So that's actually gone up to the medium level. Now the low level is only 5 lumens of brightness, and that's reported to give you approximately 100 hours of runtime according to their manual here. Now on the medium setting that I've got on now is 30 lumens, and that's 15 hours of runtime. So we'll just press it in again and go up to high, so you can see that's considerably brighter there. So on the high level, that's 81 lumens, and that's going to give you a runtime of approximately 5 hours and 57 minutes. Now to go into the SOS mode, you can only activate that once you're in the high mode here. Okay, so once you've toggled through the different levels and you're on the high mode, just press the push button in again and let it go, and then you can see it sends the SOS signal. Okay, from there, and it'll just cycle through SOS. Okay, so just push in and click and you'll turn it off. Now to turn it back on, it'll just default to the low mode setting there. And if you want to put it in the highest setting, which is a turbo setting, and me personally, I mean I like using the turbo setting because it's just nice and bright. Okay, all you need to do is just turn the front of the torch anti-clockwise, depending on which way you're looking at it. So for me, looking down here, it's anti-clockwise. So just turn it and you can see it just goes into an extremely bright beam. Now this turbo beam is actually 180 lumens this is pushing out. Now that's supposedly going to give you a runtime of 2 hours 16 minutes. It depends on what battery you actually put in it. Okay, now both of these batteries require, well, there's 2 batteries required, and they're both AA, so 2 AA batteries, and you'll get this little torch, pumping out this brightness without any dramas at all. What you need to understand though is, depending on what sort, I mean you can put the NiMH batteries in it, alkaline batteries, so you can use your rechargeable AA batteries, no problems at all with this flashlight. It'll just depend on what power the AA batteries are, to what runtime you get out of it. Me personally, I've used this fairly substantially in the field, and I find when I'm camping, really on turbo mode there, if you've got it on, I get about just over an hour of runtime, and that's usually using just some rechargeable batteries that I have. But still, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, the actual brightness, and you'll see later on in this review just how bright this 180 lumens looks when you're actually out in you know, dark areas. You can put it into a strobe mode from the turbo mode, so much the same as how with the high mode, you know, we went across into the SOS mode. When you actually activate the turbo like I've done now, you can then put it in the strobe mode. So once again, you just push on the end here, but you don't push it in that far that it's going to click. So just in without pushing it too far and let it go, and you'll see that the strobe, you know, starts on it there. So I mean, that can be fairly effective and useful as, you know, a security tool. Or with this particular flashlight, you can get an adapter for it to put it on the handlebars of a bicycle, so, you know, to really let other motorists know your position on the road of a night time. You know, this torch can definitely do it. So on saying that, I'll just talk about basically a few of the accessories that I've got here for it. Okay, now as standard, the LD20 comes with this little user manual here. Okay, that's just pretty much a basic rundown, you know, on a few of its different features that I've just pretty much read out to you there anyway. It comes with a 24-month warranty, so, you know, 2-year warranty is fairly sufficient for a flashlight, I think. And it comes with a couple of extra rubber rings or seals, so that, you know, should you wear them out, you can easily replace them. Now, just to show you, you just twist off the rear end of it here, and you can see there I've just got a couple of Energizer AA batteries there, so fairly easy to you know, to load up and run. There's nothing tricky about that at all. Now they do say in the advertisement here in the user manual that the torch is only 60 grams in weight, and that's excluding batteries. I can assure you there's no false advertising with that. This is so light, this torch, and even now, after having this for about a year, it still surprises me and impresses me in the field when I use it, especially in the turbo mode, with just how much power and light comes out of this torch with just 2 AA batteries. It's also drop resistant. They're saying here that you know, you can drop it up to 1.5 meters, and that it's also water resistant down to 2 meters as well. Okay, so I mean, I personally haven't really gone purposely dropping this torch. I mean, I've dropped it a couple of times by accident, and I mean, it's that tough. I mean, I've had no problems with it. I've not broken any lenses or anything like that, so it's definitely a sturdy torch. So what we'll do, I've prepared here, I'll just move a few things out of the way. I've prepared a jug of water, so what we'll do is we'll do a water test with that. So what I might do is I might turn the torch on, and how about we throw it in the water and we'll just have it sit there, okay, while I'm talking about the extras. You'll see here I've got a traffic wand. I've also got a white dome light attachment. I've also got a red filter, and finally I've got a camp light shade attachment. So at the top there's a little ring where you can you know, perhaps thread through a piece of string or something and hang that from a tent or something there to mimic a light. Now these little extras, they didn't cost that much money. The torch overall, I mean, was well, you expect to pay about $75 for the torch. With that will come a carry case here. It's just a simple Velcro opening carry case. It'll come with a little lanyard, which is only a little piece of string to feed through the end of it, and then, you know, secure it to your wrist, you know, if you're out in the field and so forth. It'll also come with a couple of those little extra rings that I was talking about just before. Now these little extras here that I just spoke about, I bought a pack and it had like the traffic wand, the red filter, and then the white dome light in it, and from memory it was really cheap. It was only like $7 or something like that. It was very, very cheap. The lamp light shade attachment, it was the same. It was about $6 or $7 for that. So really good extras, and when you secure them, they just slip over the front lens of the torch, and like they don't fall off or anything like that. They secure quite firmly, and they really are that good. So Okay, so let's have a look at the water test here. Like, I mean, I've got the light on there, and that's completely submerged. I mean, look at that, and the torch still works. So obviously there's no false advertising with that. The torch is, completely waterproof there. As I say, they advertise down to 2 meters of depth. I mean, I've had this before in the creek on the farm, and I've had it under, a good 30-40 centimeters of water, and just to test it out when I first got it, and I certainly wasn't disappointed. It did everything it was advertised to do. So what we'll do now is we'll actually take it out in the field, and you can see what it looks like in the darkness. Okay, so the flashlight's on the lowest setting here. I mean, I'm just focusing at a bush about 7 meters away, so you can see, I mean, it easily throws the light there, even at this low setting. However, to really make out some detail, you'd be wanting a higher setting. So we'll go up to the medium mode now. Now that just throws a little bit more light around. I mean, there's a gum tree there just to the left of this bush. That's probably about 15 meters away. I mean, you could easily identify a person at that distance, or other objects without any dramas. I mean, the light's bright enough just at that medium setting to do that. However, if you want to have a look and scan around more back into the bushes, you really need to put it up to the high setting. So I'll just do that now. So you can see through the bushes there into the background. You can make out a bit more detail there, and also the light I can see just with my eye. It's penetrating through the branches and so forth, probably a good 30 to 40 meters back there into the bush. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll just put it onto the turbo mode, which is the highest setting. And you can see there, that's just increased the brightness, another level. Okay, now I've got the light on the turbo mode. Now, this light can be used, obviously, for a bike light. So we're on a bike path now, and I'll just put the strobe on, and you can see just how bright this is. Okay, so that's focused on the camera there. So that should be a fair bit of light being thrown that way. Okay, so we'll just put it back to the normal bright mode, and you can see there just how bright it is. So I mean, it's ample. I mean, if you had it on a bike or something like that, it'd just be absolutely perfect. I mean, the amount of light this throws out just for 2, AA batteries is just absolutely unreal in my opinion. And then you can see further down, you can see the light really throws a beam a fair way down there. Like that actual lamp post there is probably about 120 meters away from where I'm standing, and you can see there, I mean, the light's easily getting down there, and it's highlighting up the tree and so forth at that distance. So just absolutely ideal, and the brightness from it is just fantastic. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate now with the traffic wand on. So this is ideal. I mean, if you're in law enforcement or security, or even doing traffic control, I mean, this is on the lowest setting here. And I mean, look at that. Like, I mean, if you wanted to get someone's attention, I mean, it easily lights up. Now that's, as I say, just on the lowest setting. So let's put it up to the turbo mode. And you can see there, I mean, that's really bright for me just to even be near, look at. So, I mean, if you wave that around, the visibility you'd be able to see this would be from hundreds of meters away. I mean, I'm only about, 10 meters away from the camera at the moment, but that's extremely bright. So, I mean, it'd be ideal for any of those sort of applications. Okay, so now I've got the camp light shade attachment on. Now you can see this is just on the low setting. I mean, it throws a little bit of light around, but you can actually hang this up. So you could hang it in the middle of, say, like your tent, or hang it up on a rope or whatever under a tarp. So we'll move it up to the turbo mode, which is just a twist from there. Now that's extremely bright. I mean, it hurts for me to actually look directly into it just with the naked eye. So if you've actually got this up high, I mean, just in the general area here, it may be a little bit hard to see on the video, but the light that it throws around is just absolutely amazing. Okay, so now I've got the white light dome attachment on the flashlight. So this would be good, I mean, if you're just searching the ground, or you wanted to throw out a bit more sort of, I suppose, wider beam or wider light. So if you just actually look at the ground here, I mean, you can easily see around you. So I mean, if you're working, you know, on your car, or you know, you're even broken down or something like that, I mean, this would be a great little light to have in the engine bay of your vehicle. So you can see there, I mean, that's more than enough light to be able to, you know, distinguish and see different objects in detail. Okay, so we'll just show, like, just searching the cabin of a car. Now this is on the lowest beam, just to give you the light comparison with it. So I mean, that's more than enough. I mean, you can easily search around and bring up the detail of the car and everything like that, whilst you're not burning a lot of power. Okay, so I'll just move it onto the turbo mode now, and you can see, like, the whole of this cabin is just completely lit up. It really is that bright. So what I'll do finally is I'll just put the red filter on. Now this would probably be applicable more to those of you who are in the military. But you can see there, like, you can still read quite sufficiently the text here in the magazine. You know, that comes up quite well. When you're looking at all these attachments and so forth, I mean, they really are good. I mean, you know, you've got a camp light shade, you've also got, like, the traffic wand, you know, you've got a red filter, and then you've also got the other white light dome attachment as well. So no matter what sort of background you're from, like if you're in security or law enforcement or military, I mean, there's so many practical applications with this particular flashlight. For those of you who are just looking at using it, you know, in, like, sort of, I suppose, like hunting or camping roles or trekking, once again, this flashlight is more than ample for your needs for that. So really, I can't promote this light enough. I mean, I've got one, my partner's got one, family members have got one, because I really think they're a great tool, and everybody should have it for security purposes. You can always have a really good flashlight, and the biggest benefit to this flashlight is, as I've said, it's got great you know, availability of batteries. You only got, like, AA batteries. You can buy them anywhere. You can get them from Kmart, over the counter, service stations, wherever. So it's not like you've got those unique or really hard to find, you know, rare batteries that you do find in some other torches. So that's one of the big key points with it there. You've also got something that's lightweight, it's small. I mean, for those of you out there, the ladies, I mean, you could easily fit one of these in your purses and so forth. So for us guys, I mean, it can easily go in the center console of your vehicle, or even just in a pocket on a jacket or so forth. It's just really, really good torch, and I'm sure that for those of you who are looking for a good torch, you will not be disappointed with this particular model, that's for sure. So we'll wrap up this review, guys. Thanks again for watching. As I say with all the reviews, Ozzie Reviews is my channel under YouTube. Please feel free to subscribe. Keep the comments coming. Also remember, I'm now on Facebook as well. All you got to do is just log on to my main page there on YouTube, and there's a link for Facebook down on the right hand side. So once again, thanks very much for watching.